OKC to win this thing, but Milwaukee goes out. They were the more dominant team, but to me, I don't even think anyone really thought they'd win like this.
No, I didn't think so, but I think what happened was Milwaukee clicked defensively. Offensively, I mean, you know it's going to be Giannis and Dame, and did they have enough? Well, we were looking at they needed that third person. They had some guys that play well, but to me, it was their defense led by Giannis. They really came out focused, and also give guys credit. Everybody took turns guarding. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made it hard for him. Andre Jackson Jr. did an excellent job.
Yeah, we were talking about guarding Giannis, but guarding Shai, they did a great job against Shai. He was just 8 of 24 from the field.
It was. They made him work. I mean, the old school face guarding, picking him up, not letting him catch the ball, not letting him be comfortable, not letting him come up to bring the ball up, and I think they did an excellent job, made other guys make plays. And as we see right here, you can see, it was just man on ball, and Andre Jackson was there. And yes, Shai missed some shots, but I thought it was because of the way he played him before he got into the scoring position, really helped his defense and individually slow down Shai.
Because Shai originally, I mean, he had 10 points in that first quarter, and then in the second quarter goes scoreless, and that's when you kind of saw, I don't want to say the doubt, but that's when you saw him pass up the ball a little more than we usually would see.
Well, I think so, and I think also what they were doing is they were daring other guys to make shots. I thought Jalen Williams had played well, but other guys didn't get in the rhythm, hit shots, and then I think the dominance and the force that Giannis played with on both ends just wore down the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Bucks here because at half, I think you still thought OKC was in a great position considering the way they were shooting the basketball. But Giannis, 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists for that triple-double. Man, every time he got the basketball, he had that possessed look in his eye.
You know, I love that he didn't let OKC off the hook. Smaller defenders, he took them down on the block. Bigger defenders, he drove through them. And I think also he understood the moment. And the moment was, I got to do whatever it takes. And it wasn't just scoring. He was in the right place at the right time, both on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Yeah, I wonder what this, if we heard him after the game here and talk. He was kind of emotional after the game, talking about, you know, what this means to this team, but the belief in this team, considering where they started, 2-8, to now winning 13 of their last 16 games. I mean, this has to mean something a little extra for them.
Well, it starts with your coaching staff. The belief, it starts with your best players, him and Dame. As you can see the focus and how he's been talking in the media, he is one to turn everything around after the slow start. And boy, did they turn around. In this cup play, they've been beating teams handily.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Their numbers, both him and Dame, are up in NBA Cup in this tournament. And you look at a guy like Dame Lillard and that combination of the two. This is, I think, what most people thought when Dame Lillard came over from to the Milwaukee Bucks, that this is what this combination could be.
What I loved about it, that Dame didn't have to force things. I mean, to me, as you look at his game, he had 23 points. He was just 6 of 12.
Right.
You know, remember in Portland when he had to force shots to win games, had to be heroic just to win games. He was just very good, and we know Dame can play better, but that's all they needed tonight is timely shots. And I thought in that second quarter he made a huge shot to give them confidence going into halftime.
And that's the thing about this team, and when these guys are going, I mean, when Giannis is taking a break, when he's not playing, or if he's getting that extra attention, Dame can take over a game.
It is, and it's the three-point shot for those guys. I mean, Brook Lopez knocked down shots. Taurean Prince have been shooting extremely well. Gary Trent Jr., if he can get going, that's another guy that's knocking down threes. And we all know Damian Lillard is going to be a guy that you have to stay connected to for 45 feet away from the rim, and then he knocked down threes. So he opened up, I think, the lane and the whole basketball court for Giannis.
Yeah, that was one of the key stats coming into this game, is they shot 42.5% from three, 17 of 40 in this game. But in their wins this season coming into this game, they shoot 42% from three, so right on target right there. And in their losses, about just under 35%. So that three ball has become huge for them.
It is. I think the three ball, but I think also making shots. Also, they understood the pace had to be up and down for OKC to get advantage. It was an old school 80s basketball game.
You mentioned that we were watching
97 to 81. OKC played fast in spurts, but because they were taken out of the net and also the defense of the Bucks, they couldn't get any rhythm. They couldn't get any pace in this game.
Yeah, and you look at a guy like Bobby Portis had just 5 points in this game. Brook Lopez kind of came alive a little later on. It really was the dominance of those two superstars that really kind of pushed OKC.
It was, and back and forth. I mean, Dame wasn't getting a lot of touches, but when he got shots, he made tough threes. He made open threes. He made those shots. If you're the OKC Thunder fan and team, you're going, we were right there. We were right there. And they had to keep building, and he kept closing that door. Dame Lillard was knocking down some big-time threes.
You know, I wonder about the perception of the Milwaukee Bucks, because some people looked at their schedule when they went on this run and said, hey, it was kind of a softer schedule. But, as Dave Miller joins us right now. Come on in, Dave. Move over here. Congratulations. But the perception I was mentioning, like, Dave, we're just talking about your team right now. Congratulations, by the way. Won 13 of your last 16 games, and people were looking at what has changed between these teams. So why don't you tell us what has changed since that 2-8 start?
I mean, I think we looked within. We came together. I think when you have a tough start to the season, or even in the middle of the season when stuff starts to kind of go bad, you got two choices. You could, everybody can separate and you can fold, or, you can find solutions and take whatever the coaches give you and come together and make something happen, and we did that.
Dame, everybody talk about GameTime, and obviously you're known for that. But today, for me, it was throughout the game. It seemed like you said, hey, they got a little bit more momentum, I'm going to hit a three.
Yeah.
They got a little bit more momentum. It looks like you were saying every time we needed a big shot, not just in the fourth quarter. We knew you come to play then, but it was all four quarters to me. It seemed like it was timely shots. And for Dame Lillard to take 12 shots and still dominate the game, that just tells me you're comfortable right now, and the game is a little bit more easier. Yeah,
I mean, it's just a more simple game. I think when you're playing with somebody as dominant as Giannis, him attacking is an offense. The way the defense is going to react to him attacking, or even him having a matchup, they react right away before he even dribbles. So for me, part of my process has been, how do I make myself effective off of how they react to him? Not getting stuck standing still, moving a little bit off the ball where I'm putting myself, in the spots where I can get a shot, or if I get it, I could be the guy attacking and make the next play. And that was what it was about. Sometimes it's going to be me swinging it, other guys getting shots, and I think that's been good for our team because now everybody's touching it. We sharing the sugar. Everybody's hitting shots, everybody's getting opportunities throughout the game, and obviously, for me to be Giannis's running mate, it's going to be those moments in the game, like you said, where I gotta make something happen. I gotta do me, and for a team like OKC, they hit a shot, they make a couple good plays, you got to answer the call. You got to make sure that you stop it right there and not let it keep going, and then us end up having to call a timeout. And that's just what my mentality is, to attack and identify those moments where I need to be assertive and make things happen, and also be assertive or be available for him, when the defense is reacting, make plays, attack to score, just try to make that next thing happen.
Giannis was talking about the chemistry between you two and how that's evolved. I mean, can you just tell me, is that through conversations? Is that just reps? How has that partnership grown?
I think it's from time, for one. I think when we came together, everybody was like, Dame and Giannis should be this, but nobody wanted to give us the time to develop and get to know each other and get used to being on the floor with each other. Like, I come from a situation of 11 years where I'm having the ball every time. And he's been playing for a decade of having the ball every time. So now he's having to get used to somebody else who has the ball and is effective with the ball, and I'm getting used to somebody who's dominant and effective with the ball. So it took, a lot of communication between us getting to know each other, so I could see what his mindset and his intentions are, and so he could see the same about me. And I think over time we've learned that on a much higher level, and it's starting to show in our play. At the start of games, in the middle of games, and especially at the end.
Dame, take me through defensively, where you guys kind of got off to a slow start. But let's just look at now at the NBA Cup. You hold OKC to 81 points. What's been the change on the defensive end? And talk to me about Andre Jackson Jr. He did a really nice job tonight.
I mean, he's been a huge part of it, just his size, his energy, his motor. He's picking guys up full court. He's making them work. He's fighting through screens. He's contesting shots, and he's doing it over the course of the game, nonstop. We asked him to do a lot, and he's been doing it. He's changed our defense, but I think another difference for us has been, I think we were, one, trying to understand what was being asked of us, and also you got to learn to trust what's being asked of you. So, our defense, 5 guys got to trust it. Like, this guy has to do it, knowing that this guy's going to have his back, knowing that the next guy is going to have his back, knowing that the next guy and the next guy. And for a lot of the first, 10, 11 games of the season, it would be a breakdown before it got to the 5th guy, and teams had us scrambling, and I think we've learned to trust it, and we've learned to trust each other. Our understanding has gotten better, and once we saw the success that we had from it, we've only dug deeper into it and gotten better at it, and now we're learning how to navigate it in our own little wrinkles, as possessions go by. and we just continue to get better at it, and it's changed our season.
I want to ask you about your relationship with Doc, because during media day, he told me you're one of the rare superstars that wants to communicate. He maybe over-communicate sometimes through text, through phones, through conversations. Has that continued, and how has that helped?
It's helped a lot. You know, playing for a coach who's won, a coach who's coached great players. He played in this league, so it's a lot of things about what we go through that he understands. So he's able to communicate to us on a different level. So I've enjoyed that. But I want him to know, like, you know, we stars, and I'm a star in this league, but like I want to be coached to be able to be a championship point guard. You know, that's something that I haven't experienced, and for the experience that he has, you know, I'm gonna be open to whatever criticism or direction or whatever it is he has for me. And that's where a lot of the dialogue is. Like, I'm just curious, like, you know, how was Rondo? How was it when you coached KG? How, you know, his most successful teams, how was it? You know, like, what do I need to do to help our team and be better like that? So that's really what it's been, you know, and he's fighting me on, you got to be Dame Lillard. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to be Dame Lillard, but I still want to know, like, how can I be the best version of myself for this team? And, you know, I think our relationship is just, you know, it's blossoming. It's getting better and better, and it's really helpful for me to do my job for this team.
What about the emotions of a thing like this? Because Giannis had mentioned that on stage, that there was some emotion after winning this thing. I think we got some video, too, of just the way it looked. I mean, how does this give you, you know, another step into the ultimate goal?
I mean, just feeling when something is on the line and having to trust each other to get it done. You know, I think we've won a cup game where I didn't play. We had a road game in Miami in the cup where Giannis didn't play. You know, we had to punch our ticket, a road game. Then we had Orlando. Like, we had to go through a lot of things, and we had to trust each other and lean on each other to have some success. And then coming here, and like I said, high stakes, you know, something on the line, it means something. You know, we won something that nobody else won, and every team had an opportunity to do it. So it's not June, but, you know, it gives us something that we could use as momentum, and we can look at this moment and say, you know, when it really counted and people wanted this, we went up against one of the top teams in the league, and we did what we had to do.
Before we let you go, we got to ask him about $515K. What's the process? What do you do with something like that to change?
I mean, for me, man, I don't want to sound crazy, but I'm a max player. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, let me get it then.
No. It's definitely gonna get put to use. Yes. But the thing that I'm most excited about is for our young players. You know, for a lot of young guys, they don't know how long their stay in the NBA is gonna be. You don't know how, you know, when you're gonna get that guaranteed money. You don't know when that time is gonna come.
Oh, we got a visitor.
We do got a visitor.
We got a visitor, man.
Come on, man.
My bad. They asking me about you.
Okay,
But I'm most excited about what it means for our young players. You know, it's life-changing money, life-changing opportunity for them. But for me, I don't know yet, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate the time, man. Congratulations once again.
Appreciate it.
That's what we said.
Hey.
Something like that. Something like that.
You don't need it.
Milwaukee Bucks. 97-81 winners taking the Emirates NBA Cup. We were gonna go to break, but now we're not gonna go to break.
No
Doc
break,
Rivers
no
right here.
break,
You know how TV works, Doc? Come
Yes,
on, man.
I do. Come on, Giannis.
Come on.
You know, Doc, I'm going to start this off because, you know, we played together.
Yes.
Congratulations.
To me, it was an 80s, 90s game.
Yeah.
And I thought you guys took the pace away from me. You know, obviously y'all started to click offensively,
Yeah.
but I looked at your defense had to catch up to your offense. Take me to how you got to this point defensively.
That's what the whole thing. Like, we believed in our offense even at the beginning of the year. Our shooters are great shooters for not making shots. They don't forget how to shoot. You know that's going to happen at some point. Where we needed to catch up was defensively. We changed the system. We did a lot of different stuff. And then all of a sudden, you can see everybody buying in and doing it. And tonight was a great example of that. Like, we heard for 3 days about their defense, and all we kept talking about is our defense. And I thought the game became slow, mucky, and our size showed out.
Giannis, I got to ask you, it seemed like you were quite emotional after that was over. I mean, what goes through your mind after this? You know, you guys start a certain way, 2-8. You guys have made this push, and now you get one step closer to, you know, achieving something that's the ultimate goal.
You know, obviously when we had a shaky start in the beginning of the season, but we never lost trust in our abilities and in the group. You know, coach kept saying that we got to set the table for everybody else. We got to compete. You know, we got to play team basketball. We got to trust one another. That's what's missing. It's easy for me to play hero ball. We are a very talented team. Dame can play hero ball. Chris can play hero ball. Brooke, everybody's so talented. Bobby can play one-on-one. But at the end of the day, how can we come together as a group? And I feel like the last 15 games, we've come together as a group. We've played a lot of close games. One game that we lost in Boston, the last 4 minutes, I remember after the game, we had the opportunity to put the game away. We didn't because we didn't play as a group. You know, we came after the game, coach said, you got to play as a group, you got to set screens, you got to roll, you got to move the ball side to side, you got to trust one another. That's how you win games, you know, and that's what we've been trying to do. It's not easy, but me and Dame, we are on the same page, and we are going to continue to do that because we believe that's the best chance we have to win games. We've improved, we are getting better, and hopefully we keep on getting better, and we compete because we really believe in this group, and we believe that we have a chance to go deep into the playoffs.
Giannis, it's just like I asked Doc, and I've been in this league. It's easy to trust offensively, yes. But tell me as a leader how you led guys to trust defensively, because you can do your job, I can do my job, but one guy not doing his job throws everything off defensively.
1,000%, and that's why we have a great defensive coaching staff that we keep one another accountable. You know, in every timeout, you can hear the guys compete. You know, we yell to one another, compete. Make sure you box out. Make sure you show crowd. Make sure you close out with the stick hand. You know, make it tough for them. We have great coaching staff that keep giving us reminder that we have to go out there and compete. Like you can see in the third quarter, we came out and they only scored 14 points. You know, our defense create better offense. That's who we are. If we don't play defense, we have a tough time. And we have to play defense, win basketball game, and it proved it tonight.
Doc, I wanted to ask you about these last 16 games. Yeah, the defense has gotten a lot better, but also the shooting, especially the three-point shooting. In your wins, you guys are averaging about 42%.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is Dame and Giannis. You know, tonight was a great example. Oklahoma's a great defensive team. We knew they were going to load up on Dame and Giannis, and we knew that Giannis had to be a playmaker, and Dame, that's what he was. The more he was that, the more our guys made shots. Like I told Steve early, you know what, Gary Trent was shooting like 20%. Brooke couldn't make shots. Bobby, I was never concerned by that. They're great shooters. Eventually, that's going to come. The fact that our key guys kept trusting them showed, and it showed out tonight.
You know, my last question is, Giannis, for you and Doc. You do this defensively and offensively without one of your better players, Chris Middleton. I mean, take me through the mindset for you and you, Giannis, when Chris is fully back. How good can this team be?
Oh, it gives us another facilitator. Chris organizes our team as well as anybody on the floor. And him and Giannis have such a chemistry, and that helps us as well. And it gives us another go-to scorer. So he means so much to this team. But we got to allow him to get healthy. Like, we're going to play him, we're going to keep up with his minutes, but we got to make sure we get him healthy.
I totally agree. He's just a smart player, a great decision maker. He's a winner. But you know, coming to the game, he wasn't feeling well. I think you know, we had the conversation, me and Dame, in the locker room, that Chris was not available for tonight. But we had to set the tone to the team. It doesn't matter who's available, who's not.
Yes.
You know, because we are building a culture here that no matter who plays, we got to compete. If I'm out, the team still got to compete. That's who we are. You know, win or lose, that's what we do. But for sure, Chris levels the team up. You know, I've played 12 years with Chris. We can connect with our eyes closed. And he, as coach said, he got to get 100% healthy. And we know that he's going to get healthy and he's going to help us moving forward.
Before I let you go, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying congrats.
I was going to say,
all
congrats,
this
but before I let
trophies.
you go, as a leader of this team, are you planning the post-game celebration? Are you fitting the bill? What is the deal?
I got that part.
15K richer, man.
You paying?
No, I'm not paying. But I didn't take. I asked for the owner's card.
Okay.
And we gave it to somebody that's very responsible, Pat Cannington. We are, I don't know, I'm going to go to sleep, but the team's going to go out. They're going to have good food. They're going to have good steak. They're going to celebrate on the team.
Yes.
Nobody's paying.
All right.
The team is paying.
I
Okay.
agree with that.
Well deserved.
Yes, amen.
All right, well
Congrats.
deserved. Pass on the buck to Pat, by the way. Nicely done there. Congratulations, guys.
This media day, no Chris Middleton tonight, but every guy that played tonight stepped up in a big way.
Yes, sir. You know, in games like this, it's not about the stats, not about misses or makes. It's about the energy and effort. I feel like our defense was really great. Guys stayed connected. We talked, we communicated, we helped each other. We ended each defensive possession with a stop, with a rebound, and we was able to get out in transition and get easy baskets. It was great. Shout out to a good Oklahoma City team, very well coached. They gave us, great competition, and it was fun to play in this game.
When you see Giannis this focused and basically telling the basketball world no more jump shots unless it warrants itself, but I'm getting down here and get to the paint and attack the defense. How big is that?
It's been huge. I liked, this is my 5th year playing with him, and over my time playing with Big Bro, I've seen his leadership quality skills go to the next level. My first 4 years here, he was more of a show you by example type of guy. Didn't really say much, but this year I think he's honed in on talking, communicating, letting guys know where to be, letting guys pouring confidence into his teammates, right? As a superstar, when you pour confidence into your teammates, it makes the game easier for yourself.
How can this feeling build for you guys? You know what the championship feels like, right? And you know you want to get that for Dame. How can you use this experience to prepare you for the rest of the season for that feeling?
Big time. When we got off to a slow start, they put this in front of us. And then we're like, okay, cool, we got something to play for. Let's get right. I think over the last 15 games, we've become a close-knit group, like a family. And as the season grows, the team needs to grow. And I think the 82-game season is for that. And I think that our team is growing throughout the season. We're getting better. We're talking, we're communicating, not just on the court, but off the court, hanging out, going to dinner, hanging out with one another, touching one another. Sometimes when you just touch your teammate, it kind of ignites and brings that camaraderie and chemistry together.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Hold that right now. Here for this cup. Take us through the emotions and how much fun you have to win this tournament.
Man, it was so special for us. Obviously we felt like we could have done better last year in the cup, and then to start the season the way we did and just build. We obviously had to take a good look at us, be honest with ourselves, with each other, and to see us get better each and every game from that, and then to culminate in this, it's so cool.
You've been around Giannis. You won a championship with Giannis. But lately he's saying, I'm going back to the old Giannis, which is attack the paint, attack the defense. And tonight to win the cup, it was amazing.
I mean, you see him, the determination he has when he's out there playing so hard like that. You can't do anything but fall in line and follow his lead. He's the best player in the world. He's making the hustle plays he makes, getting on the floor the way he does. You got to follow him. He's such an incredible leader.
I know this is the first step for Dame winning something like this. What do you need to see, and what does Dame need to kind of do for you to feel like he's a part of this next championship y'all trying to win?
He needs to do exactly what he did tonight and what he's been doing since we turned the season around. He just needs to be himself. Tonight he was out there doing things offensively, making plays for everyone, and then he was doing his job more so defensively. Getting his hands on ball, getting steals, being in the position he needs to be in. It was just he was so phenomenal tonight.
Appreciate you, big fella.
Appreciate you. Always good seeing you.
You too. Wait a minute.